Hey Aussie gamers, and to everyone that loves video games and things alike, this is the Aussie Gamers Express video game podcast. Born and bred within the land of opportunity and slow, overpriced internet. For news, reviews, and video game related fun, keep listening along with your hosts, Lucas and Red. Well, this is episode 159, and today is Thursday, the 16th of February, 2017. Welcome to the Aussie Gamers Express video game podcast. I am your host, Lucas, and here with me is my very good friend and co-host, Red. How are you, mate?
Great. 159, man. This is pioneer territory.
Pushing on. I was just saying that yesterday to Snoogans. How we're recording the podcast today, and it's 1:59 now.
I don't think I've ever... I don't mind listening to podcasts. Like, I'm a little weird. Like, I love doing this with you, and this is one of the highlights of my gaming weeks. And at the moment, that's a pretty big thing to say with everything that's going on in the gaming world. But, like, I don't mind streaming, like by Twitch, YouTube, whatever. But, you know, I'm not one to watch them, if you know what I mean. Like, I really enjoy the interaction part when I've got the control in my hands, but I'm a really bad backseat driver, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. And I struggle to also listen to gaming podcasts. I listen to two podcasts, full stop. Another Australian one, and I listen to an American wrestling one, WWE wrestling one. So that's all I listen to. I'm a really bad backseat driver when it comes to that because, I don't know, back in the day before I was part of this one, this used to be one of my most favourite things to do of a Sunday morning, and then probably again of a Tuesday and a Wednesday night and a Thursday morning, but was listen to the Aussie Gamers Express podcast.
Yeah, because you used to listen to us before you were on it.
Fuck, man, I won half your Steam library. And then I come on here and it's a 1v1 in a fucking What's That Sound? I can't get a fucking thing right.
Pressure of on the moment.
But no, I mean, 159. I've never come across something with an episode of 159, and wicked pioneer territory. I think it's absolutely awesome.
There's not a lot of podcasts out there that last this long, let alone Aussie ones. So that's a bit of a feat in itself. So congratulations to you for being part of it. Yeah,
and you for starting it, man. Yeah. You've been here for 159 episodes of the Express podcast and 35 of the other?
159 of Express and 42 of the original. So over 200 episodes under my belt.
201.
There you go. But more importantly, thank you to everybody else that listens to us and makes it worth our time to do.
Fuck yes.
Yes,
so
absolutely. All right, well, anyway, before we start, here is this week's show-in preview. First up, as usual, we will have video game discussion, then we'll have video game news, and in this week's news we have Call of Duty Head Back, Fractured and Delayed, and Conan Exceeds. After the news, we'll go into What's That Sound, then Red Shout, and then Last Words. So, first on the agenda is video game discussion. So, Red, please tell us what you've been playing.
I really don't want to let everyone down that really enjoyed their 2-hour show last week.
Because it's just going to be about one game.
Well, one and a bit.
Well, yeah, but people are going great guns for this thing. And heaven forbid I say something derogatory about it. I'm under fire.
Didn't that explode?
Sorry.
Dude, you were not the only one to draw that conclusion early on. There's nothing there. Nioh, let's say.
We're talking about Nioh, yeah.
Of course we are.
Can I clarify? Can I have the floor for a moment?
Absolutely, because you can just mute me out if you need to.
But you know how we look at we'll go back in time a little bit here and we'll talk about sort of back in Doom times. You know, we played games like Hexen and Heretic and all that sort of thing. They were Doom clones. They were like Doom. They were very much like Doom. They weren't Doom because they had their own thing, right? And just like you can still say, all right, I've just played, I don't know, a first-person shooter. It's like Call of Duty. That's the staple. When we think of a first-person shooter today, we think about Call of Duty. When we think about a first-person shooter back 10, 20 years, we think about Doom and Wolfenstein 3D. It's like Doom, it's like Wolfenstein, it's like Call of Duty, it's like Dark Souls. Nioh is like Dark Souls. I don't want to say that... I did make the comment that it was a fucking copy, because there are a lot of things that are blatantly copied. The health meter down the bottom looks exactly like Dark Souls, AK, or Bloodborne, or what have you. Those sort of things. Nioh is like Dark Souls. No matter who you are, where you're coming from, it is like Dark Souls. It's not Dark Souls, because yes, it is very different in a lot of areas, but you can't deny that. And if you can, Red, you're going to represent the Nioh stands. If you think that I'm wrong right now, tell me.
Well, you put your foot in it. It is nitpicking. The life bar's at the top, bro.
Oh, sorry. Whatever.
You researched this argument real good.
The style of the bar.
It's
now you're nitpicking my nitpick.
It's in exactly the same genre. You're exactly right. All first-person shooters are first-person shooters, and this is an action RPG, just like Dark Souls.
It's got more than the perspective on its side, but like it's very, very similar. Yeah.
But the more you play it, the more you realise how different it is.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of different aspects, but it's very fair, I think, to say, did you like Dark Souls? Yeah, love Dark Souls. You're probably going to like Nioh.
Absolutely.
And why is that? Because they're similar games.
Yeah, they're in the same vein, cut from the same thread.
The point that I was trying to make. So, should fire your bullets away anyway. I'm bulletproof with these sorts of things.
Oh, nah. I just think I've spent... Oh, you can go about 45, 50 hours with it.
Yeah.
And it's fucking great, mate.
You finish it?
Hey, nah, I'm only halfway through it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you and your red modem.
Yeah. Well, the difficulty spike is quite... the way the difficulty spike is delivered to you is not a cop-out, but it's just... it could have been done differently if I was to pick a couple of things at the game. You meet your staple enemies like you do in any other game. You get their movesets down pat, and then you can kind of move around pretty freely without the threat that you get in Dark Souls, without the, I'm going to die with 2 seconds notice sort of thing. You kind of buff yourself up, and because it's so fast-paced and you've got that X button and you can just... it's being used as dodge, but you can actually really whip around like really, really quick. So you've always got that element of speed on your side, which really relieves any sort of real tension. I can't sit back here and say, other than the first 10 hours where I really didn't know what was going on per se, that I felt tense. Now I don't. Every now and again something will hit you in the back and you go, oh, fucking scare the shit out of you, but it doesn't really hurt.
Oh yeah, because you get those guys off in the distance shooting stuff at you,
yeah? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I just... I can be strolling around. But there's a dead giveaway too. You got a mini-map up in your top right corner, right? That's fucking... That makes life easier in these sorts of games, I tell you what. And it'll go...
That's kind of similar to Dark Souls as well.
No, there's no map in Dark Souls to speak of.
No, what I was talking about. The shooting off at the distance.
Yeah, that's the comparison I was about to make. On this one, your mini-map will flash red when someone's seen you, and you'll get this audio cue, you'll go, whoop, and you're like, okay, holding block.
Yeah.
Because you can block behind you. You block, you put your sword out in front of you, something hits you in the back, and still goes, ting, and I'm like... Wicked.
Why? Because video games.
Video games.
That's right.
But see, that's another aspect that just makes it a little bit more accessible, a little bit more easier than your Souls/Bloodborne games, because you get hit in the back in one of those, it's going to hurt.
I think I think the developers of Nioh sort of understand that Dark Souls is a very popular formula for a game, but it also does segregate it by being really brutal. So they've probably eased up a little bit for the sake of marketing to a wider audience, which is not a bad thing by any measure, I would imagine.
No, because, well, as you'd know, we've run a couple of things by you. Weeksy and I, we've captured about 10 hours of video that he's come and dumped on my computer yesterday, and I'm skimming through it. And while I was waiting for all that to happen, we're putting together a bit of a video package review / Weeks in Red talk out their ass for 10 minutes and try and deliver a review in a different on a different medium. But what I done while I was waiting for all that to happen, because as you know, I'm running a potato computer. I got some trailers of Team Ninja's and Koei Tecmo's previous games, and they are Dead or Alive series and Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah,
well, if you've ever played those two, that was one of the hardest series ever. Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2 were probably the hardest games I've not finished them. Too hard for Red back then. And so I was putting together a little intro package and everything like that, and then it's dawned on me, and I've wikied and I've done some research and everything. I think Team Ninja needed to make this game just that little bit easier and not go down the Dark Souls path, because this was probably not a last-ditch effort, but they've probably invested a lot of money into making Nioh, because they haven't released anything for years.
Yeah.
And as you said, they've made it just a little bit more accessible for marketing and everything like that. Well, they've done that. By no stretch of imagination is it easy, but what I was saying earlier, the way they've cranked up the difficulty, you get real big yokai, and yokai is traditional Japanese demon thingy, where everything's got everything, monster, where everything's living.
Yeah.
And instead of giving you a real big one that's really tough, they'll give you 2 or 3 of the same. And anything in that game, you can take on 2 things. You can take on one thing fine, like one big thing. Then you put in a couple of smaller things that die relatively quickly, but it's still a pain in the ass. No worries. You give yourself something. They give you 2 big things to fight in a confined space. That shit's fucked.
Yeah. Well, that's where because I've played it, and that's where I sort of ran into troubles. Like, I took on one of the normal enemies. Like, very early in the game, you run into some, like, armoured-up samurai-looking dudes in the silver armour.
Yeah.
And I took him on easy, He was a little bit he took a little bit longer to go down. It's like he had more HP. But then his mate rocked up.
Yeah, and then
gave him a bit of a hand.
Bit tricksy, done it.
And I died. And I came back, and I don't know, maybe this might be a little bit of cheese as well, but I made sure that I only aggroed just the one of them on his own.
No, it's not cheese, that's brains.
Yeah, so I went just close enough to get the first one's attention, and the second one didn't know I was there, so I fought him on his own and put him down, which was fairly easy, and then go and aggro the second one and take him down. So that way I'm not fighting 2 of these idiots on their own. It's a little bit easier to play that way. Easy, cheesy, smart, whatever. But,
smart. Yeah, you get stones that you like in Bloodborne. You get stones and you just lock onto one person and throw it at them, piss them off.
Yeah, but that makes me think that video that Weeksy put up in the week. There was a lot of conjecture around it being cheese. Like what you said it, but I don't know whether you mean it or
fucking open mean it.
All right, so you believe that's cheese. Do you think that that's cheating? Is cheese cheating?
No. Cheese has taken the easy way.
Right.
No. He's run up and stabbed and ran away out of field of view, let everything settle down. Ran up, stabbed. That's cheese.
That bridge that he was on, is that like can he progress past that bridge? It looked like he was stopping at the edge of the bridge each time. The enemy.
Yes, you can. Yeah, no, the bridge goes slightly down underneath the water. If you go to the left or the right of it, you'll drown.
No, I mean the enemy stopped at the end of the bridge. Like when Weeksy ran away, the enemy looked like he stopped at the edge of the bridge. Is he stuck on that bridge, or is it just that was the point where he sort of gave up on Weeksy every time?
No, that's the point where he gave up on Weeksy.
Okay, so if Weeksy stayed closer to him, he would follow. He could have draw it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just wasn't sure. It just looked like, I think it was just a coincidence. That's where he lost interest every time. Looked like he was hitting an invisible wall. But, yeah, cheese, it's, well...
I give it to Weeksy. And Brownie, fuck him too. He'll be listening. I gauge my level of ability in these games to them. They're my yardstick when it comes to action RPGs. And for me, I look up to Weeksy when it comes to games like Dark Souls. Go figure, he's like 12 years younger than us. But he's just good at them. That's his niche.
That's because he's 12 years younger than us.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
We've had 12 extra years of beating and bashing and destroying our patience.
It's exactly right. And then you look at the video that he put up yesterday where he takes on two big things in a confined space with the imminent threat that if he walks forward, he'll summon another one and just does it. I'm like, you're a bitch. But no, so that's why I went full guns blazing when he cheesed it, because he should have been able to do it he should have been able to do it the way I done it. I just went up there and went, come on, mate. We can't move around too much, because either side, you do a full dash left or right in that certain situation, you drown, you're dead. Yeah. So I just went in there and I stuck to his right armpit and just went to town, and I won.
You know what would be a really cool gameplay mechanic for a game like that?
What's that?
That you drowned because you were wearing heavy armor. So if you took the armor off, you become vulnerable, massively vulnerable, but you can swim. Yeah,
that'd be cool, because I run really light gear. That would be cool. Or even if you had a moment or two to get out.
Yeah, like that gave you a moment to get to the edge and swim out rather than drowning instantly because you got massive armor on.
Yeah, that's sick.
Anyway, just a thought.
Because that'd benefit me.
Yeah, but there you go. Look, there's been a lot of activity on the Aussie Gamers Express page this week with Nioh. People are loving it. People are giving it 9s, 10s, big scores, saying it's a fantastic game. So that's good. I'm glad there's a good game out there for you. But look, as I've said, it's not a game in the area that I enjoy. So I don't think I'll be able to get into it.
Well, that brings up. I was talking to someone yesterday. Who was I talking to? Brendan, I think. I thought it was going to be Pat. Because there's so much coming out at the moment. And with you saying that, it made me think that, or made me realise that right now, this generation is starting to hit its straps. Starting to hit its stride.
Yeah. There are a lot of games coming out, and there are a lot of quality titles coming out. That's the issue, Red. If there was nothing coming out right now, I'd probably be all over Nioh.
A la Bloodborne, mate. That kind of went against your...
Which is probably why I played that, because I don't think there was anything else out to play.
And then when you were streaming, you go, oh, fuck, how did I finish this game back in the day? Because you could dedicate yourself to it, because there was nothing drawing your attention either which way or possible, you know what I mean?
That's right. But at the moment, we've got games the likes of Sniper Elite, we've got Horizon Zero Dawn coming, we've got Ghost Recon. There's all these games coming out that I'm sorry, but Nioh loses all of those fights with me.
Yeah, but that it really dawned on me. And all these games that you've just mentioned, you got your For Honor. All of them are graphically nice. You know, some of them are standouts, but none of them are really shit. And this goes for the indie games we're playing as well. It's not like they're not hard to look at, sort of thing. You know what I mean? And they all play pretty fucking well. Like there's bugs in here and there in some of them and whatnot, but that's becoming a less of an issue in today's right now in this generation. So we've got so much to pick from that you can't just absolutely rubbish one thing and go to this thing. That now we have our own genres that we like. We're able to now start forging our collection and our game time towards specific genres again. And that's why I don't play near as many first-person shooters as I used to. You know, because that's all we had. That was the only multiplayer aspect of PlayStation 3 that I really had. I just think the Xbox One, but primarily the PS4 at the moment. The Xbox One's still doing fine, but the PS4 at the moment, it's really starting to hit its stride. We're really starting to see this generation flourish, and I think it's a really good time to be part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really quickly, before I hand the floor over to you, because I've held back from asking you questions about certain situations that you put yourself in last night. thankfully and graciously being part of this, as I said at the start of the show, how chuffed and proud to be part of it I am. Because I do this, yesterday, For Honor arrived in the mail.
Ah, very good.
Yes, Weeksy rocked up here yesterday and he received a package also at my doorstep, mind you.
Yeah, I don't know Weeksy's address.
And he goes, oh, look, I got an EB, right, $88 special edition, right. I said, fucking open it. He said, why? I said, I want to install it for when mine arrives.
Yeah.
4.8 gig day one update for anyone that was wondering for Honor on the PS4. Anyway, so yeah, we're going, rah. And then I seen a message there from you. I'm like, oh, got your Weeksy got your package, rah. Got to tell you, I got mine. But yeah, mine arrived too.
Awesome.
And I played that last night. I had a wicked headache last night, so I had some Panadol on a feed. Fell asleep in my chair, woke up about 8:30 and went, all right, I'm ready. The tutorial's still sitting on my screen because I fell asleep in my office. I'm like, oh, this looks exactly like the beta. So that was the tutorial for the beta. So I done all that, got it all up and running, only to realise how naive I am that the campaign is completely co-opable.
Ah, right. Yeah, I did. Somebody mentioned that.
Someone had mentioned it, but it kind of just like water off a duck's back to me. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't see that happening because of the sort of game it is. That's what you get for assuming. It makes an ass out of myself. You can. So that's what Weeksy goes, oh, that's why I bought it. It's got a co-op campaign. I'm like, no, it doesn't. He goes, yeah, it does. Look, check this out. And brings up YouTube. And I went, oh, fuck me dead. You're right. But yeah, so I've done the tutorial. Aiden Stewart from the page has been screaming out, come on, Red, want a 1v1, want a 1v1. So I went in as a noob, straight off the bat, not playing any of the game, and I got beaten.
Yeah.
I was about to say I got my ass kicked, but I didn't really. It was best of 3. I won one round, lot of 5, and I took the other ones to a final round. So I done okay. My beta experience come in handy, but there's now extra bloody units there to have to learn. This is going to be quite a steep learning curve, but I'm really, really anticipating the fact that the campaign will serve as a tutorial for each different faction.
Okay, there you go.
I'm going to stream the campaign.
Cool.
Internet willing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my week. 2 games, man. And then one game was only for a couple of hours last night.
Yeah, no, that's all right. All good. You good? You done?
Oh, I'm finished. Yep, that's my week, man.
Shit at segues you are.
Oh, as I said, that's my week.
Yeah, I know. Over to you. Is the little catchphrase I was waiting for. But anyway, right, Sniper Elite 4. Got me hands on a copy of that, and I must say I got it on the Xbox One, and oh man, the Xbox One just works. Like the network speeds on the Xbox One is so impressive. I get 100 megabit connection to my house, and my PlayStation uses about 5 of those. And the Xbox, I downloaded Sniper Elite 4, which is 40 gig download digital. I downloaded that in 2 hours, man.
Fuck, that's hooking. That's almost on par with Steam.
It's very close, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so 2 hours later I got to play it, and first impressions were, wow, this is bright and vibrant. So it looks really nice. I am in the midst of writing a review for it, so by the time you listen to this show, the written review will be up on AussieGamersExpress.com, and it's going well. It's going quite well. It is a good game. It's a very, very simple formula that Rebellion have put together for Sniper Elite, but damn, it just suits, I think. Would you say, like, you've played Sniper Elite 3... Would you say that it's quite a bland style of gameplay that's just addictive as shit? Is that fair?
Bland, yeah. They've just applied the KISS method, haven't they? It's just keep it simple. That's
right. It's a sniper game, and sniping is what you do. It's by bland, I mean, like, you're not going to have massive, set pieces. There's no massive things that happen during the mission. Basically, it's You got to go and kill this guy, get this intel, and escape. And you're thrown into the open world-ish missions, and you do whatever you want to do those, to get those objectives complete. And it's basically, who can I kill without getting seen, to create a path to where I need to go. And that's essentially what you do. It's a very rinse-repeat kind of process, but it's just awesome. There's nothing that's more satisfying than hitting a mad X-ray slow-mo camera bullet cam view when you're smashing a headshot from 500 meters away. I mind you,
get away with it.
I got a 550 meter head. It wasn't a headshot. 550 meter gut shot last night when I was playing. That's pretty good considering, like, if they're 500 meters away, they are tiny on your screen still. Using the scope, they are still very, very tiny. So it was, I was impressed with it. So that was pretty cool. And once I landed the shot, all the little extra XP things popped up on the side of the screen, like extra XP for this and this and this and this. And oh, yeah.
Hit the 777s.
Yeah, it was really cool. That's exactly right. So I'm playing through Sniper Elite 4. I chose to play it on hard because I'm familiar with Sniper Elite 4. The normal settings are usually fairly easy because there's no wind. Like, the wind doesn't affect you. You get bullet drop on normal.
Ah, yeah.
But there's no wind, so it won't push to the left or the right. It'll always be directly in line but low.
Yeah.
But then you've also got the adjustment too, so you can adjust your scope for how far away they are. So if you use your binoculars, it'll tell you how far away the enemy is, and then you can adjust in, I think, in 50 or 100 meter increments.
Ah, you zero in, yeah.
It's so that way, if you've got someone at 100 meters and you adjust it to 100 meters, you put the crosshairs directly in line. But because I'm playing on hard difficulty, you also need to try and get yourself a wind indicator. So there's no wind indicator on your HUD. You need to look for a flag. You need to look for, I don't know, something blowing in the wind, maybe trees or something like that, to work out which way the wind is blowing, and kind of you got to get a gauge of how hard the wind is blowing. Now you still can press the hold your breath button, which will give you like a crosshair to where the bullet will go. Now that's all well and good, but you get more points if you don't use that.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea to use that to get a gauge and work out where it's going to go, but you're going to get mad points for no assist if you don't use that, if you work out where the bullet's going to go yourself. That's pretty cool. So I've really been enjoying doing that. Now, the developers of Sniper Elite 4 have claimed that the smallest map in 4 is 2 or 3 times bigger than the biggest in 3.
Fuck.
That's
alright, though.
It is, man. They're huge. The first mission that I played took me over an hour to complete. And...
Good. That's the pedigree of Sniper, though.
Yeah, that's what they're like. And you get lost in the game. You don't realise you're spending an hour. Every map, there's 10 levels, and every level is a massive open world sandbox. So it's not an open world game per se, where you're going to play the entire game in a big sandbox, but every mission, every level is its own sandbox that is very, very big. So there's a lot of area to explore. There's a lot of opportunity for long shots. There's a lot of different side missions, optional objectives to take place.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah. Wicked.
Heaps of stuff like that. There's collectibles spilled throughout the levels, but like you can go in so many different directions that the missions are that, like the areas are so big. You could go wherever you want. Like it's.
Do you have to shoot concrete eagles?
Yes, that's one of the collectible things, yes.
Because I thought I'd seen a GIF file where, from Rebellion themselves, showing you shoot a statue of an eagle. I'm like, what's the point of that? And then I remember back to Zat, or Zombie Army Trilogy, where you shot the wine bottles.
The wine bottles, yeah, it's exactly what it is. When you find them, you shoot them, and it's a collectible. Yeah.
Oh man, that's so sick. Yeah. So that was going to be the question. Like you always had like mini objectives or side objectives, secondaries, however you want to put it, with 3. If the levels are bigger, do they give you like 5 instead of 3?
Objectives?
Or they give you more side objectives, or
there's a lot more. Yeah.
Oh, good, because that's what I was about to say. That'd justify the extra space in the levels.
Yeah, there are a lot of extra things that you can do. There's also like challenges as well, where it'll be like there are 5 high-ranking officers. Take them all out with tripwires. So
really?
Yeah, so there's a lot of replayability there, and there's a lot of things to slow you down and have some fun with.
The words right out of my mouth. There's heaps of excuses for replayability now.
Yeah, and it's really funny as well.
Other than just collectibles.
There's a couple of things that happened when I was playing that was really confusing but really cool at the same time. I'd put down a couple of landmines, and then I'd moved on, and it was probably 20 minutes later. It cuts to because obviously in when you get an interesting kind of kill in Sniper Elite, it cuts to the slow-mo X-ray shots and all that. It now does those X-ray shots for melee kills and for landmine kills.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a good 20 minutes later. I'm lining up a shot, and all of a sudden the screen cuts away, and I'm like, whoa, what happened? Did I just get killed? But it was somebody walking over one of my landmines that I'd put back at the beginning of the level. And it was like a good 20 minutes or half an hour later it went off and I got a kill.
That's pretty impressive, because you couldn't blame a game when you move out of line of sight for it kind of just to shut down so it doesn't use RAM.
Yeah, and ignore it. But yeah, that went off. They were still walking around and I was nowhere near it. I was, probably a kilometre away. And
what are the load times like?
Oh, they're like instant.
Wow.
The load time, like you watch the percentage bar, it's like a circle, and it does like the 0 to 100%. I reckon it takes about 5 seconds, if that. Like you watch it go, and it's almost immediate. It's crazy.
Well, it looks like they've learnt from 2, 3, and 4. Well, not learnt, but just built on their fucking formula. Because what makes me think, that's the reason I asked that, is because you said that you planted something back here and you've moved on 20 minutes of gameplay later, and the mechanics are still going where they're still patrolling those areas even though you're not there making it happen, if you know what I mean. That's why I asked about the load times, is to have to load in all those assets to maintain
but the thing is, that's the simple nature of Sniper Elite 4 and all the Sniper Elite games, really. There's not really a lot going on. The only thing that is really tolling is the AI of all the enemies walking around, it's a timed thing where the noise goes off, a plane will fly overhead, which gives you sound cover. There's generators that you can break that'll generate sound to cover your shots and all that. But there's not really a lot going on. Like, it's very, very... Like, if you... As long as you're not in the middle of combat, if you just stand somewhere and look around, it looks beautiful, but nothing's really moving. Nothing's happening. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a very sort of slow-paced, simple game that looks brilliant, looks a lot better. It looks nice and vibrant and colourful. But it has those mechanics down pat with the sniping. It is so much fun. It never gets old, shooting people. And in Sniper Elite 3, it was a mini complaint of mine that when the X-ray vision went off and the skull fragments exploded from the bullet hitting their head, those skull fragments kind of felt like that they were stuck to the body, and if the body moved, they sort of moved like they were like tethered.
Attached. Yeah.
It's different now. They've fixed that, which is good.
you get all the visceral explosion of heads that you could ever fucking want.
Exactly. But yeah, now you can do the hand-to-hand takedowns, which also slow down and do like really awesome, like you'll punch them in the face and like Mortal Kombat almost. And the bones will break and it'll go X-ray and stuff like that. You can now climb over ledges to hide. You can shimmy across ledges. You can attack from a ledge. So the Assassin's Creed style, drag them off and they'll fall to their death and stuff like that. So there's some new things that are really neat that have been added to the game. So there's a lot of new stuff, but there is still a lot that is the same as before, which is good. I'm happy with that.
Can I put a question to you?
Go ahead.
As if people don't know, obviously, you covered the beta for Sniper Ghost Warrior 3?
Yes, yep.
And that gave you a level, basically, in an open world setting?
Oh, yes, yep.
How would you rate the first level of that beta to the first level of Sniper Elite 4, which is more sniper orientated? Because they both have it in their name. That's their selling point. Now,
with Sniper Ghost Warrior, that is an open world game.
Yeah.
Right? So that's not like level based like Sniper Elite. That's like Far Cry 4. That's like one massive open world where you go mission to mission. So it's slightly different there. Now, when you put down to the sniping in like the mechanic, they're very, very similar but very, very different. Sniper
Ghost, modern ones retro.
Well, that's an obvious part there. With Sniper Ghost Warrior, it's a lot more graphically intense. So it's more going towards the realistic sort of graphics, whereas Sniper Elite is a little bit more toned down graphically. Like it still looks nice, but it's not realistic graphics.
Yeah,
it's kept very sort of simple there. But the mechanics, I prefer the Sniper Elite mechanics, but I think that's because I'm more used to that. I've played more of Sniper Elite in the past. And as much as Sniper Elite's sniping is down pat, there's a lot more depth with Sniper Ghost Warrior. Like there's a few different types of ammos you can get. You can get different ammo for your guns in Sniper Elite. Strangely enough, the ammo is what dictates whether you have a silenced weapon in Sniper Elite 4. That's a bit strange.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have a silencer on your rifle, but you can get silenced ammunition.
That's pretty cool.
If that happens. When you equip the silenced ammunition, you now have a silencer on the end of your barrel.
Oh.
Weird. I don't know. That's a little bit strange.
So, maybe it's a way so they can govern. They can only give you 20 per mission, maybe, instead of having unlimited. Then you wouldn't have to go around looking for Jennies and shit. That's
exactly what it is. It's trying to stop it from being too OP and easily take out everybody. So there's that. Whereas in Sniper Ghost Warrior, you can have a silenced gun. You can do that. There's no dramas with that. So they're very different.
Yeah.
The Sniper Elite 4 now has introduced a lot more customization for your weapons as well as a perk system. So when you level up, so early, like level 5 will unlock. You can choose one of two perks. So whether you want to hold your breath for longer or recover quicker from holding your breath. So you choose one of those. Then when you get to level 10, you'll be able to choose to carry one more med pack or maybe one more. I can't remember exactly, more grenade or something like that. So as you level up, you're going to be able to pick one of two. So every level that you get to in 5 or 10 level increments, you can choose one of two that unlock.
That's really cool. Like that sounds very basic, but it's still a pat on the back. Here, you've reached level 10. Customize yourself slightly, or your game style slightly, a little bit more to the tailor to the way you play. You want to go a little bit balls to the wall, have an extra med kit, or you want to fucking hang back a little bit more. Here's another trip mine. That's fucking really sick. That's new. That wasn't in 3. I like that.
It is. It's moving forward for the Sniper series, but Ghost Warrior, Sniper Ghost Warrior is really in depth. Like you can change the underbarrels, but that goes testament to the time that you're in, the time period. You didn't have a mounted grenade launcher in 1943, so obviously you can't have that sort of thing. But so they're the two differences. Is the Ghost Warrior is going to be a lot more customizable and modern.
Yeah.
Whereas your Sniper Elite 4 is still true to its roots. I mean, it is getting a little bit same because they're all in, like, 1940s. Like, they're all very old war. They were always fighting the Nazis. And it's same. But the thing is, it still works, though. It's a real fun game to play. And it would be a massive risk for them to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But...
Well, they're running out of bloody people to assassinate, aren't they?
Well, they still keep bringing back Hitler, don't they? So they're just bringing back whatever.
Even in Zombie Army Trilogy.
Yeah. The story's not going to blow anyone away, like none of the previous ones have. I think V2...
I think you just summed it up then.
Yeah. V2 was probably the last one that I was really intrigued with the story. That was really cool. Yeah. With the V2 rockets. But yeah, the story's pretty simple. You could probably guess it. But I don't know. It's still the gameplay's there, so it's fun to play. It's set in Italy, if you were wondering this time round.
Yes.
So we're in the Mediterranean, hence the nice visuals. An excuse for that. It's a nice part of the world. Bright colours, green scenery, and beautiful clear waters.
It seems like the parkour's been upgraded as well.
Oh, you can run and jump. Like, you can jump gaps. It's very, very, very basic. But you can traverse gaps now. Oh, no, not really.
Cool, because that was my main concern.
It's not Uncharted, but you can do a little bit of that now. You're climbing up the side of walls and stuff and jumping ledges. But yeah, it adds to the game, and it's sort of the thing that you'll miss if you go back to one of the previous games and play. You'd be like, oh, you can't do that. That's right. But it's not going to push the game beyond its limits or anything like that. But it's welcomed. Nice. Yeah, very welcome. No, she's a good game. I haven't finished it as yet, but I look forward to playing it through, and I'm taking my time with it on hard as well, and died quite a few times because the AI is not dumb. They'll find you. Alright, anything else on Sniper Elite, or shall I move on?
No, man, that's wicked.
Right.
Got me sold anyway.
I'm going to flick through a few games that I've played. Dying Light, I booted that up for a little bit, and I'm really keen to get back into that because I want to just experience more of playing it on hard mode.
Yep.
So I want to get through that. But I don't have time with all the awesome things that are getting released brand new. Rocket League, been playing a lot of Rocket League lately. I've been doing the ranked play.
Oh, nice, yeah. That's the way to go, isn't it?
Yeah, and I've been doing really well, so that's going well. I think is it out now, the Hot Wheels expansion thing?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Not. No, 20th, 28th. It's later this month, so no, it's not. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I knew as soon as I seen it. Went, there goes another $2.95 from Luke. Yeah,
that's right. I'll get it. I've used the. I think it's called the Masamoon.
Yeah.
It's like a beefy little car SUV thing. That's a
car truck.
Yeah. And I've also been trying out the Batmobile lately as well. And when I first tried the Batmobile, I wasn't real keen on it, but I'm into it now. I quite like it.
Here's one for you. You've been playing it now. Do different cars change the gameplay at all, or is it just a placebo thing? Do you think
it changes? It is. Yeah, it's different.
I'd have to say the Batmobile would have to be more agile than say the Masamoon you're using now.
Yeah, it's the Batmobile is faster and more agile, but it has a smaller hitbox.
Yeah, you got to be more precise. Yeah.
So generally, if you and I are racing to the ball for a kickoff, and you're in a truck and I'm in the Batmobile, I'm going to get it. And mind you, it's minimal, but I'll get there a fraction of a second quicker than you.
Yeah. That's cool.
It'll be harder for me to hit it past you because you've got a bigger hitbox because you're a truck. And I've got a low profile. So that's the trade-offs. But mind you, I don't know if there are heaps and heaps of different sizes, or if there's a small sized vehicle and a big sized vehicle hitbox. That I'm not sure, but the speeds and the hitboxes do slightly vary. It's very minimal, so you're not going to get a massive edge, and there's like give and take as well. It's not just I'm going to be more advantaged because I've got a better car. It's not like that. It's very well balanced. But yeah, so I've been enjoying that, trying out different cars. So Rocket League is definitely the most played PlayStation Plus game that I have ever gotten.
You and everyone else.
Yeah, very, very successful game. Well done with that. Move on. I finished Alone with You. Do you remember that indie game that I was talking about last week?
Yeah.
And how I said it was a little bit boring? Day over day.
Yeah, the spacey romance one.
Yeah. I finished it. I finally finished it. And the ending, I saw it coming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You wake up, oh, just a dream.
No, it's not that bad. But it is it's a little bit cliched like that, though.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I've seen the story before, man. It's
because it was like every day. It was like Groundhog Day for you. And then to finish in a cliche manner, it makes it sound like it's very hard to recommend.
It is hard to recommend, man. Like, it's a good book.
Yeah?
But for romance novel likers, I guess, where there's a lot of talking. But as a game, like
50 Shades of Farming.
Like as a game itself, like the puzzles were too easy. Like the puzzle would be, right, you need a password to unlock a door. So you need to work out what the password is. And you'll go and you'll find a piece of paper on the floor. And the piece of paper will be something like a message to someone. If you want to get into my computer...
Oh, no.
Then you better pay attention to the notes that I leave you.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then you'll go and you'll find another note, and it'll be like some random shit about something Johnny did, but there'll be one word that's in capitals.
Oh, rightio. Yeah,
so you go find the next one. Oh, there's a word in capitals. And then the
Not
next
even
one...
cryptic or anything.
Nah. And probably the trickiest one, which was actually a little bit of fun to work out, was where there was... it's hard to explain. There was 5 people's names on a dossier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the password, they said to you the password was those people in that order, but their room number. So you've got, say, Jonesy, Smithy, Robbo, and blah, blah, blah. That's the order of that's the code. But the code is, what's Jonesy's room number? So you've got to put his room number first. Then Smithy's room number, and blah, 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 blah.
Then Leo's.
But, yeah, good old Leo. But which room is theirs? And then you walk past down a corridor and there are all their rooms. And you had to go into their room and work out who belonged to that room. So then you have to work out what kind of person that person was. So you read, you're reading it, but it's a recording. And it tells you, if you read enough of it, you can work out what their role was in the facility.
Oh, he likes sport, or he fixed it. Yeah. So, that's pretty cool. It's almost delving into the psychological side of their character or their personality.
So this guy was a psychologist, right? So you go in and you're like, oh, there's like a psychologist-looking couch there.
Yeah, and a Psychology 101 on the shelf.
Yeah, stuff like that. So, okay, this has got to be his room. And then there was a female and she had a child, and there's a kid's toy in this room. That must be her room.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Some of them were blatantly obvious, but then some of them were like, ooh, this one's...
outside the box.
Yeah, and so that was probably the best puzzle in it, but that was the only one that was fun and a little bit tricky. The rest of them were silly easy. So, but as for the rest of it, it's really a bit of a bore snore fest because it's slow and a lot of talking. But if you like getting to know people and character building, you'll love it if that's what you love in a book. That's what I reckon this is for. This is for people that love reading novels. But the thing is, people that love reading novels are probably going to be reading novels, not playing video games. I don't know, but it's not the worst game I've ever played. I want that to be clear. It is definitely not. I've played garbage. This is not there. This is at least 5 or 6 out of 10.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not broken either. It's a good game. It's just a little bit slow and boring, so keep that in mind if you want to get it. All right, I'll move on from that. I played more Bloodborne.
Ah, yes.
Doing quite well now that I know what the buttons are. Killed the first 2 bosses.
Nice.
So I've done is it the cleric beast on the bridge or something?
Yeah. So then you can start upgrading yourself.
Yeah, and then I killed Father Gascoigne in the cemetery, in the graveyard, and I've moved on, and now I think I'm up to Old Yarnum.
Nice.
You know that part where there's the secret room and there's the other character, the mysterious character that will shoot you with the machine gun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm up to that part there. So, I haven't got...
Did you use the music box on Father Gascoigne?
No, what was that for again?
Oh, you know how when you run along the start, or not the start, but you can knock on their doors and go, oh, it's you.
Yeah.
Well, you come across a Sheila and she'll give you a music box, and when you play Father Gascoigne, you use it as a usable item, and you play the music box, and he kind of goes, and you fucking go in and get a couple of viscerals on him. But you've just done it the old school way. I like it.
Yeah, I just killed the bloke. Yeah,
just fucking in and out, hack and slash.
Yeah,
get your breath back. Yeah,
well, that's a neat little trick, though.
I respect that.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying it. I will keep playing that actually for some weird reason. I'm keen on going back to it. The only thing is, like I said, too many other things to concentrate on at the moment. But it's a good game. Just quickly, because I don't think it's in the news, but Rocket League is getting a pro update this month.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Probably doesn't need it, but it's apparently going to be native 4K with 60 frames a second, which is pretty cool. There you go. That was a bit of a side story there, side mission, but we'll keep going. Using the PlayStation 4 update, Beta 4.0. That's had an update too. I haven't seen what's changed. It might just be stability stuff, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. I have not had any issues using it. It's works fine. There's also no issues with connecting with you blokes that haven't got it. So there's no issues with that. The only thing is you can't do share play with people that aren't on the beta.
Oh, because we do that every second.
But we can't do it anyway because internet's not fast enough. I've been way too busy. I have been using the external hard drive. I put another 2 terabyte into it, so I've got 3 terabyte on my Pro now. But I haven't had the time to plug it into the old school one and see if it works in between the two consoles. So I apologise for that, but it's just been way too hectico.
Watch this space.
Yes. Gravity Rush 2, I haven't played as yet, but I've got it in my cold, clammy hands. And I say cold, clammy hands because it's not 4,000 degrees in Sydney today, which is really good. So yeah, I've got that one to play. There will be a review coming, but not as yet because, like I said, so many other things to play. But we do have Gravity Rush 2 coming soon. Any questions on what I've been playing, Red?
No, I'm looking forward to hearing about Gravity Rush. I really enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, the first one was fantastic, but yeah, I haven't played it yet, so we'll get around to that. So, well, that's the end of video game discussion. So how about we move on to some video game news?
Let's do this.
Righto, first up in the news, Red, you've got something about Call of Duty to head back. What's that about?
Well, you broke the news. I first heard it from you on this well-known Facebook page, actually. Aussie Games, Express, that one. Anyway, Sledgehammer, because they do the tri-yearly, or if that's even a word, they take in turns. 3 developers, 1 a year, get to do Call of Duty. Sledgehammer are back this time for their second installment to the Call of Duty franchise in the current generation. And they started off with Advanced Warfare back in the day and introduced jetpacks. Ban them, banish them to hell. Anyway, so you said that they're heading back to their World War II days, or something of that variety. I know you didn't say they're heading back to it.
Not going back to World War II days, but going back to boots on the ground combat.
Yes. So the news I have here suggests that the return to World War II, which was the setting of the first original Call of Duty, the 3 Call of Duty games that were PS2 and PS3, or maybe just PS2.
Okay.
And well, I read your post, and I've seen it posted for everywhere I follow. Back in last week late last week when it first hit, and I don't know. I could be just a minority, but a lot of people, I reckon, I just rolled my eyes and went, "Well, off the back of Battlefield 1 success, of course they are." But it wasn't until I was getting ready for the show last night and just having a little bit of a think and a little bit of a read, and this is why I don't go half-cocked. I thought that, but I wasn't going to hit your post with my opinion because it wasn't necessarily a positive one, so I just left it alone because my mum always said, got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all unless you're going to swear lots in a video. 3 years they've got to make this, and it's not like they started developing it last year off the back of Battlefield 1's success. So I've taken the time and I've gone, right, well, it's not like they've been spending 2 years building a game and now seen Battlefield 1 come out and have just ditched it all, because that'd be way too much work. So I'm really, really glad I didn't fire from the hip and shoot my mouth off, if you know what I mean. So I'm really keen. It's what they needed to do for people of our age, our generation that grew up with the PS1, PS2. They really needed to do this if they want the sales to go back up, because the main part of this news item here is a quote from Thomas Tipple, who's the COO of Activision, who said, "It's a clear portion of our audience, the space setting just didn't resonate, and our Infinite Warfare sales were drastically down on our forecast." So, obviously, Black Ops 3 didn't perform as well as they really wanted it to, but still cut even. Then Infinite Warfare, even with the Modern Warfare remaster, hasn't garnished the sort of profits that they've been used to for probably the best part of the last decade. So
here's a $1 million question for you that I'm sure Activision would like to know the answer to themselves, but is the lack of success of Call of Duty because of the content, or is it because it's starting to get long in the tooth?
Exactly that. Every year without fail, November 11th to 21st, you've got Call of Duty.
It drastically reduces the shelf life of your game.
Exactly. And that's why I think, this is once again another opinion of mine, Battlefield does so well. It comes out every 2 years, 2 and a bit years. There's not a season, there's not a quarter of every second year that it comes out. It comes out when it's ready.
And there's massive upgrades too.
Oh, fuck yeah.
There's big changes.
How good does Battlefield 1 look? Whether you like the first-person shooter genre or not, that game is visually impressive.
Yeah. But, yeah, so I don't know. It's just, I think it's just run its course, called Call of Duty. So that's why I think they're going back to their roots to try and reinvigorate it to when it was, like a time when it was sort of the leader.
Well, do you know what they could hang their hats on for the last 5 years was the innovation, and they were they led the way when it come to esports, when it come to first-person shooting competitive. But now you've got Overwatch.
Yeah.
That kind of personifies the whole esport scene. You know, you got the MMO aspects of your World of Warcraft classes and characters, and your League of Legends timed style cooldown abilities that buff and debuff. It's hard to see Call of Duty going forward unless, as you said, they start resonating with their original customer base.
Yeah, because I mean, look, once upon a time I would buy Call of Duty on day one and I would play the guts out of it. I've had what's the latest one called?
Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare at my disposal since release. I've not bothered to play it. I still have. I started the campaign and it fizzled out for me.
You got as far as I did. A level and a bit, got up on your spaceship and went, okay, thank you.
I don't know if I don't like it because it's not a good game or I've just had enough of it.
Well, we're in a generation. We fucking touched on that. Should almost be the mantra of this episode. Just how lucky we are at the moment in this generation. When you spoil for choice and variety, that do I just play it because it's their mentality fizzles. As you said, you fizzle. Why would you when you've got 3 things to pick from at the same time that are more inviting and more involving in your likes and dislikes? Yeah, I know. I'm with you.
Well, reinvigorate it and give it VR support, full VR support. I'll be in.
Oh, trench to trench in VR.
Yeah.
Fucking pow.
Do
sick.
that for Call of Duty, whatever the next one is, and I will be day one gagging for it. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
not just a stupid playable part that goes for 15 minutes. Then I won't even pay attention to it. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next news, Red. Fractured and delayed.
Oh, I had to say that because really what I wanted to call the news headline is fractured but fucked. But that does not sound very inviting when we're introducing the show. So, fractured but whole, has been delayed again because this isn't the first delay.
It just is, well, they did that to the first one, didn't they?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You reading my notes, motherfucker. Anyway, so the first game was the second game, Fractured but Whole, in the series from Ubisoft. Had an original release date of December 6th last year, and it was then pushed to the first quarter of this year, so by the end of next month. And now, today, Ubisoft announced that it won't be released until Ubisoft's next fiscal year. So now they have a date of April 2017 all the way through to March 2018. So it's gone from a specific day to a quarter to a fucking year.
Wow. And you know what?
Big news. Yeah, you don't give a shit.
No.
Neither do I. But I'm a born again Ubisoft fan. You know, I've seen the light again for a second time. So I kind of the real probably news aspect of it here, other than the fact it's delayed, is that the delay saw Ubisoft revise its sale forecast for the current year, and it's actually down 164 to 185 million Australian dollars because of the lack of release of this game.
Oh, wow.
That's fucked.
Yeah, I feel for them, but great. Ubisoft are good. They do put out really good games, so hopefully they can make that up with extra DLC for Division.
For Honor. Microtransactions on For Honor.
Yeah.
Well, they just released the second season of Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
For Honor runs exactly the same way. Free DLC, but you can pay through the teeth for currency if you want, because I checked that out. It's still really expensive, but you still got people that mainly like just stream the one game. Like you got Rainbow Six streamers out there that have probably paid an extra $30-40 American on top of what they've already paid for a season pass in the game, so they just kind of stand out. And there's a lot of people with that sort of vanity, so I reckon, they won't miss this. They're just going to pick it up next year. There's going to be a $185 million overdraft next year.
Well, there you go. Alright, so that's delayed. Boo-hoo. Moving on, Conan Exceeds. I heard about this.
It does exceed. So, not pornography. I won't say that. Pimping. They're pimping. They're selling the doodle. The only news I ever heard of Conan Exiles when it first came out, because I'm not an avid PC player, is you can adjust the size of your wang. And because of this, you've heard it here first, Conan Exiles has sold over 320,000 copies in its first week, fully recouping its development cost.
Far out. So if you go with the general statistics, what do you think it is? Male to female gamers overall? Yeah, what?
I reckon there's more boys making big dicks.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, there's dudes buying this game specifically because it's got a big doodle and you can adjust it.
Yeah, well, it's feeding to their ego, isn't it?
Is this the video gamers' version of a super duper red Ferrari?
the midlife crisis game of the year.
But that's the thing. Like, I made my character, and I looked at it and I put the slider all the way to the bottom and made it like a little widgety grub.
Yeah.
And I thought, seriously, who's making it there that small?
You got an Innie or an Audi?
Like it was only just an Audi, dude. It did seriously look like a fat grub. But yeah, you can make it small, but I really like to see the statistic on who's just maxing that son of a bitch out.
Yeah, so obviously, as we do know, this was developed by Funcom, and they consider themselves stuck in a rut. And as I said, like with Team Ninja earlier, that sometimes development companies or developers, they get like this, and it just takes one thing for them to revitalise and to see the light again. And their CEO has come out and said Funcom has gone through some challenging times in recent years, and seeing the game that we have poured so much time and effort into gain this amount of traction so quickly is very invigorating for everyone who works here. Though, here's where it kind of goes. Oh, I hope it works for him, and I hope he does do it. But when you look at Ark, Rust, all these styles of game or genre, like H1Z1, all these open worldy, sort of crafty, looty things, and with action, he's gone on to say this is just the start of an early access adventure, and we will do whatever it takes to make sure Conan Exiles turns into a fully fledged game that has something to offer new and old fans for both Conan and survival games alike.
Yeah, we'll see. The whole
not one of these games have come out of early access.
Yeah,
and I don't think they ever will.
Yeah, but I mean, what does early access mean these days? Like, it's starting to be like they don't finish the game; they just work on it forever.
Well, that's exactly what I was about to say. If these games do come out of early access, they kind of need to be subscription based, and I'm not always against that because, as you just said, they need fresh content all the time. Because you can't get around and do everything.
They need to come out of early access when it gets to a point where there's a lot of game there, but it's no longer like a beta, so to speak. You're playing the game and then put it into like Evolution or something like that, where, okay, this is the game that you're going to buy today, but just so you know, it's going to evolve. And in 6 months, 2 years from now, it's not going to be the game you bought. It's an evolving game, not an early access game. Because that early access thing just sounds stupid.
That's exactly right. I reckon it should come out when either they choose to have your microtransactions like in your H1Z1 and everything like. I'm not sure about Conan, but you can unlock chests and get different vanity items, but you actually have to pay for the keys a la CS:GO style.
Yeah.
If you're charging microtransactions on a game that's actually in early access, you're not only charging for a game that's not complete, but you're charging for vanity items in a game that's not complete. Or the same as back in the PS1 day, you remember when they used to sell so many copies and it'd go platinum?
Yeah.
If you've got an early access game that has over 500,000 sales, it should automatically now have to come out of that stage because look at the amount of money they've made.
Yeah.
I'm with you. So this, I reckon it was a really big claim, and they're not the first people to make it. Look, Ark is on now both consoles, and it's still broken, and shit like that. Yeah, it's just overambitious to say that they're going to come out of early access and have a fully fledged title, because it never will be. These games are always a work in progress, and that's why they need to charge for these microtransactions.
These early access games are getting a little bit needy and greedy at the same time. Like, I remember when early access, like, going back,
was real early access. Yeah,
was real early access, but the games were like $10. For like a $50 game.
Yep.
Whereas now they're asking like $30 for these games and more. Yeah, so you're thinking like, what? Like, we're starting to get up there. Like, I understand it's an expensive thing, but it's early access. Like, I'm supporting you and helping you. I don't even know if your game's going to be any good. I don't even know if your game's ever going to get finished.
Yeah.
So it's a big risk.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the prices should go back down for early access. And if you're worried about selling your game for too cheap, well, then you've got to get your game out of fucking early access.
And that's right. And in subsequent news, Greenlight is now gone, on the way out.
Yeah, they're changing that now to some sort of just pay sort of thing now. So rather than having to have the votes and all that sort of stuff, you can just pay your way through.
Yeah, and you got to pay for your own advertising and get your own game out there, which I think you'd probably be a better judge, but there's a lot of shit on Steam, if you know what I mean. And I'm starting to think that there's also, we've got access to an American account as well on the PlayStation, so we can have an opinion on that side of it, because if you're going to comment on Steam, that's all American, if you will. And so, but the PlayStation, that's starting to get a lot of crap on there too, if you know what I mean, on the PlayStation Store. Like, I'm all for offering up different variety of choice, but I just think these $8 to $25 games are just getting a little bit out of control on the PlayStation Store. Have a separate store on the internet somewhere, on a website where you can go buy the games if you want, and then just input a code onto your PlayStation or through your login through the internet-based website, and redeem it that way, and take some shit off the store.
Yeah, but the store is their advertisement. That's how they get the word out that the game exists.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I can see where you're coming from, but there are people out there that like those silly games and will pay for it, and the people that make them want their game out there, and if they're willing to pay for their positions, I think it's fair as fair. There's been arguments in the past about oversaturation in Steam, which then clouds games that are actually really good. But who are we definitively to say that a game is no good? When we review a game, we're giving essentially our own opinion, and an educated one at that. But at the same time, our life story and the places that we've been will indicate the sort of what we
dictate
like.
how we
perceive something. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I was stumbling with my words a bit there. Whereas somebody from a different walk of life may really appreciate it in a completely different way to us. So when we review a game, or when I review a game, if I say something negative or positive about it, that's negative and positive from where I stand. What I dislike might be what you like.
But we've worked really hard over the last 3 or 4 years to build a rapport with people that kind of understand our way of thinking too.
That's the thing as well. You know your reviewer. Know where your information is coming from. You know, like you've got certain media outlets there with certain agendas. They may say something is bad specifically for clickbait. Yes. And they will concentrate on one tiny aspect of the game that is bad and tell you how broken it is because of that. But that's because they want the headline that says, you know, Assassin's Creed is shit, or Uncharted 4 is horrible because of this. And, like, it gets people going, oh, everybody said that was a good game. I might check out this review to find out why it's bad.
Yeah, the frame rate might dip to 59 in 5 sections of the game. Constant frame rate droppings in this AAA title.
Yeah, stuff like that. Whereas you get to know your reviewer. We don't do that. We're generally very fair with what we say, but it's still coming from us. So our opinion is going to be different to somebody else. So that's where I guess you can't really say that what game has a place on Steam or the PlayStation Store definitively, because there are going to be people out there that will buy it, and there will be people out there that don't like seeing that crap. But whatever, I think there is a place for anything there if they're willing to go through the development process and do all the right things, tick the right boxes to get it on the store. I believe it deserves to be there.
Maybe the store could have better subcategories.
Yeah, well, that's definitely. There's a lot of things that the PlayStation Store could do better. The Steam has a fantastic way that you can set up what you're looking for. You can set it, I want 1-player games, I want 2-player games, I want online-only games, I want MMOs, I want this and that and blah, 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 blah. I want early access games. I want games that I can play with a controller only. You can set whatever thing that you're looking for and it'll bring it up for you.
Yep.
The PlayStation has nothing like that. It's got A to Z, newest to oldest, oldest to newest. That's it. All right. Anything else on... No, that's the last bit of news, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. That's it does done what I wanted it to do. Each article generated a discussion. I like it.
Well done, Redmond. All right, let's move on to What's That Sound?
Yep.
All right, so What's That Sound last week was tricky for me, tricky for you. I don't think either of us got it, did we?
Nope.
No, but it was Resident Evil 4, and I will play the sound for you in a memento.
I've sent my right hand to dispose of you.
Your right hand comes off?
Right, so that one was from Resident Evil 4. I so didn't get that at all. I would never have in a million years got that one.
Likewise.
Yes, but it was Googleable. But not that I'm accusing any of our winners for Googling. I don't know if they did or not. Surely they...
One of Robert did admit that he did.
Okay, fair enough. So we've got Zachary Courtney, Martin Creamers, and Robert Bobcat White. So Bobcat cheated, did he?
Yeah, he told us he did.
Yeah, so don't care anyway. Listen to the show.
Nah. Yeah.
So there you go. Neither of us got it. So Red, our scores are still on 2-1. You're in the lead. Well done.
Yep. Yeah, boy.
Let's have a listen to this week's What's That Sound. Right, now I'll give you the title. This is from Reprimir. And he's getting to be a little bit of a cheeky bastard. It's titled Hintless Name of -10 to Hints.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't know if I fully understand that, but I think he's making fun. All right, let's have a listen to What's That Sound for episode 159.
It has risen again, Sir Daniel Fortescue. See? The hero of Gallowmere who fell at the first charge. The fog of war and the shrouds of time conspire to turn the arrow fodder into the saviour of the day. But we knows better.
Sounds Bloodborne-y.
It's from From Software, yes. It's either Bloodborne or Dark Souls 2. I think it... I'm not sure if it's one of the witches from the start of the Dark Souls 2. So you're going to go with Bloodborne and I'll go with Dark Souls 2?
That's, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yep. But it is so, but you're right. It is so From Software.
Yeah,
beep,
absolutely.
beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. Thanks, Red, making sure I get my use out of the editing program.
Fuck, Red swears a lot. Beep, 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 beep.
All right, so if anybody at home thinks that they know what that sound is, then send us a message to our Aussie Gamers Express Facebook page and tell us what you think it is. And if you are correct, you'll get a free game for entering. Thank you very much. We love you. Lots and lots and lots. Don't even care if you Google it. So if you want to tell us you Googled it, whatever, it'll be interesting for us, but you won't miss out if you have Googled. If you can, I don't know, you probably can. There's a fair bit of actual wordage there. And we'll find out what the answer is next week. So, without further ado, that's the What's That Sound segment. Nice, quick and easy one this week. Let us go into Red's Shout.
So, I gave everyone the opportunity to feel important throughout the week and just comment their most underrated game. And we've all got one that we think that's highly underrated, or we're the only people in the world that like it. So it gave a lot of people the chance to come up and say, "Oh, I like this." And then actually, a lot of the comments are going, "That's a good game. I like that too. That's wicked." So it brought us all together. So I thought I'd give a nice big long shout, and I will just run through them. So stop me at any time if you wish, Luke. But I'll get through them and then we can get to it at the end. All right, Andrew, Thrillfall, Psyops, PS2, good game. Ben Lovell for me, Jagged Alliance. Jagged Alliance, yep. Adam Ryle, don't know about all time, but love RPGs. Kingdom of Amular, Reckoning.
Yeah, that's a cool game.
Yes. Me. No, I just said I'm going to shout out everyone out. No Man's Sky from Zachary Courtney. You are Tasmanian. You make us look bad. Shut up. Carl Moore, Enslaved Odyssey to the West. Scott Warren, I Am Alive. Michael Davison, Street Fighter X3 on PS2. That's a very specific one in the series. Ari Karamalami, Motor Siege Warriors of Primetime on PS2. Bobcat, not so much underrated, but I played the shit out of Full Throttle and Diablo back in the day. Portal 2 was another great game. He sucks up your ass, doesn't he? I have a mountain of underappreciated games, says Russell Biggerstaff. Rusty Big Muskie, good to hear from you again, mate. I know you're listening. But at the moment he's liking Remember Me from Capcom. Remember Me, I have that on my PS3, PS Plus list actually. I've never played it.
I've played it.
David Martin, Suikoden series. So that's obviously like your Dynasty Warriors style of Asian fight-em-ups. Tim Cromilla, Dante's Inferno. I just found out I have that on the PSP. Never played it. Hayden Campbell, Warriors. Not sure. Justin Lundy, Brain Lord for SNES. Paul David Clennon, I know you'll be listening and you are becoming one of the loudest voices on the page. Thank you so very much. Says Sleeping Dogs. I did platinum that one. Just for the fucking record. Also Uni Rally on the Nintendo 64. That one I didn't play. Snoogans likes Constructor because he likes building things. Mikey D. Crickus likes Pong. Chaser likes Wizard and Warriors 3, the Kuros version of Power. Knowing Chaser the way I do, I've never heard of that fucking game, and it'd be weird and wonderful, but yes. Nicholas Karianis, Metro 2033. Decent game. And now here's the biggest controversial one of them all, if fucking No Man's Sky wasn't. Joshua Ryan Dursbury says, his most underrated game is Homefront: The Revolution. It is underrated because you couldn't fucking play the thing. No, I'm joking. It's as Weeksy will lay testament to, and he'll argue till he goes green in the face, red in the face, whatever, that they have fixed it. And I like the precedent of it, like the Far Cry style open world revolutionary guerrilla warfare game, but it was too clunky and fucked when I was trying to play it and review it.
Yeah.
So there we go. Nice big long shout. What do you reckon, Luke? I think you commented here on a couple. I'm Alive. You liked that one being chucked in.
I'm Alive was fantastic. I loved the idea behind using a weapon without any ammunition. If you have your pistol but no ammo, you could still use it to intimidate, which was really cool. But if you pulled the trigger and it went click, you were screwed. That was really awesome. I also thumbsed up the Enslaved Odyssey to the West. One of my favourite games of all time. That is an amazing game. I've just recently purchased it on Steam, so I can go back to it and play it again. Pick it up for $5. It's like the Ultimate Edition or whatever, Complete Edition, with all the extra bits and pieces. But it's the way I describe that game. It's like Uncharted. It's like Uncharted's baby little brother. So it's a very, very capable game. I mean, it's not as polished as Uncharted. Nothing is. But if there was anything that came close, Enslaved Odyssey to the West was that game. So because it had the climbing, cool action, combat, leveling up, and a lot of people don't realise that Enslaved Odyssey to the West is actually Monkey Magic.
Yes.
You
taught me this.
The main character is Monkey from Monkey Magic. The companion is Trippy Taka from Monkey Magic, and there's Pigsy is in there, and Monkey pulls out the little thing from his ear and jumps on it. It's it's called the Cloud. It's obviously futuristic, and it's not actually a cloud. It's like a little hoverboard thing, but it's called the Cloud. And his staff. He doesn't pull the cloud from his ear. He pulls the staff from his ear, which is tiny, but it grows. It gets a lot bigger, like in the show, the TV show Monkey Magic. A lot of people don't know about that because a lot of people playing video games these days don't know what Monkey Magic is. But people our vintage and older will probably know it from, what was it, the ABC? Was it on the ABC?
Oh, fuck knows. I remember watching it. Paul Clinic goes, yeah, I was there, because he keeps saying how old he was. He is. He goes, oh, I watched Monkey Magic.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was absolutely brilliant, but it didn't advertise the fact that it was a Monkey Magic game, and it's a shame that it did. Like, it was a brilliant game, but it just never got sales. So the sequel was cancelled, and my heart was broken. But yeah, that's probably one of my biggest underrated games ever. Actually, back in, let me see if I can find out what year it is. I'm just going to go to our webpage right now and type in Enslaved, because this was before Aussie Games Express. The website actually contains a lot of the blog writing that I did before Aussie Games Express came alive, and I've got blog posts on Enslaved from, let's see the date. When's this dated? It doesn't have the date on there. It's 9:57 p.m. On what date? I don't know, but there are posts on there. Enslaved, and here we go. Enslaved Monkey Magic game. No, there's no date on that one either. I'd probably have to dig deep into the coding to find out when it was posted, but that's probably 2010, maybe?
Yeah.
I think when that
Wowzers.
Let's see, did I actually date any of it myself? No. Bad, Luke 1.
The game did come out in 2010.
Yeah, so it would have been
relatively around then.
Around that time, yeah. But anyway, so there you go. If you want to read some of my early stuff, that'll probably be really bad. It is on the blog post. There's stuff on that blog post from the beginning of time, so you can check that out. Yeah. What else, Red?
My most underrated game.
Yeah, what was that?
Probably isn't so much, but it was when I was playing it, and that's Rise of the Triad. Because as you said at the kickoff of the show, when we're talking Nioh, that the first-person shooter genre then was defined by your Duke Nukem 3Ds and your, well, more to the point, Doom and Wolfenstein 3D. Mm-hmm. This one, Apogee game, this kind of just come out of left of field, and it just resonated well with me. It just done the whole touch pressure pad up and down and collectibles and bullets and health, and just exactly the same as Doom did it. It was just a different setting, and I just really liked it. And so that was my most underrated game back in the day. It's like, oh, what are we going to play? Oh, Wolfenstein 3D. I said, oh, let's play Rise of the Triad. Oh, what's that? And I'm like, oh, Jesus, let's play Wolfenstein. I played Rise of the Triad, or Rot, back in the day. Yeah, we used to call it Rot.
Yeah, I had that on the 6,000 floppy disks to install it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. but everyone was playing fucking Quake, Doom, and fucking Wolfenstein 3D. No one liked Rot, so you can all go stick it now when you're sitting back on Steam and getting it for $2 going, oh, this is a wicked game. Fuck you.
Very good.
That's it. That's shout. Woo.
All right. One. Let's go into last words. All right, I've got some last words that I want to mention before I forget. Dude, at the start of the show, you made a quick mention that I was going to talk about something, then completely forgot.
Oh, wowzers, yeah.
But that's why we've got the last words even.
Yeah.
Last night, Snoogans and I went to an event in Sydney, and it was for Horizon Zero Dawn. Notice how I'm not calling it Forza anymore, because I can remember the name, because it's awesome. Because
it's now memorable.
Yes, that's right. And it's not 6 months away. But I've played the game now. We actually have the game now. And that's about all I can tell you.
Yeah, we did play. Oh, you didn't play the little demo at EB Expo?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, and when that dude played it, and he just fell through the earth, and he went for like 250 of us watching, and he had to reset it.
It's like, oh yeah, the game's not finished yet, as you can see.
That wasn't meant to happen.
I didn't realise this was an Ubisoft game.
Yeah, have a TV remote.
But yeah.
Look how shiny that is. Restart level, yes. Oh, look at the button, still shiny.
Yeah, we weren't originally meant to get those remotes. That was just hush money. But anyway, I have played the game now, and what I've played is the game. Like, I didn't play a beta or a demo or anything. I've played the game. And, yeah, can't really talk about it yet until the 20th, when the review embargo lifts, and then the 27th, when we'll be able to actually stream the live gameplay of it, Let's Plays and stuff like that. So, Snoogans and I did an unboxing of the media kit that we were given last night, and we put a video of it up on YouTube, which is proving quite popular. So if you want to go around to the Aussie Games Express YouTube channel and have a look at us unboxing that, please do. Give it a like and subscribe, that'd be great.
But, I can double dare ya.
Yeah, that's it. It was a really good night out too. It was only a couple of hours there, but we got to see the new trailer, which went live today, which is whatever day it is, Thursday the 16th. So there's new trailers available for it. We got to actually try our hand at archery, because the bow and arrow is a significant part of the weaponry that Alloy has in Horizon Zero Dawn. We actually got to do some archery in real life, which is really cool. So Snoogans and I were side to side shooting targets, and we were, either way you want to say it, we were just as good or just as bad as each other. So it was pretty good. So that was pretty fun, and yeah, we got to play through the game while we're there. And when we left, kind of like Oprah, we all left with a copy of the game, which is really nice. So that gives us a lot of time to prepare our reviews for the embargo releases. So we're going to have that ready for you guys. Snoogans will be doing the review for Horizon Zero Dawn, and you look forward to that to a few days before it's actually released, so you can have a look at it and see if the game's for you. Probably is.
which you can almost say with certainty, yes.
Yeah, it probably will be. Yeah.
That's with everything that's coming out lately. I've been lucky to get my hands on a few of the most recent titles, but I have for a little while now had about $60 saved, and that's day one for Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm actually considering getting it digital, in all honesty, because we've now got preloading.
Yeah. So there you go. Look, we had a really good time with that, and really surprised. So thank you very much to Sony Australia and One Green Bean as well for last night. That was a really good, fun experience. We had got to chat to a few people in the area. Hex was there as well.
Yeah.
You know her, Stephanie Bendixson?
Yes, yeah, Good Game, now Channel 7.
Yeah.
Host a Better Game or something.
Yeah. Have you seen her in real life?
Yeah.
She's like fucking 4 foot tall.
Yeah.
She's very pretty though.
A lot of makeup.
Oh, come on.
I look pretty with makeup too.
She's quite short, but she looks lovely. I didn't go and speak to her. I thought, like, I'm not a fanboy. What am I going to do? Go and say, hi, I know you from your show. You have no idea who I am? Nah, I didn't do that. So
I'd go up and go, can I have Barjo's contacts? We'll turn Good Game into fucking ripper of a game.
Remember, mate, in when he plays Rocket League, you can type in the chat.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of a troll like you, but he'll write.
Nice.
He'll write GG.
Yeah.
What does GG stand for?
Good game.
Good game. He'll write GG, and then straight after it, he goes, "Oh, I mean, get good."
Oh, that's a game. I like that. Yeah. I'm somewhat of a troll.
Good one, Benny. All right. Yeah, so the Horizon Zero Dawn's coming, and we're playing it.
Yeah, fantastic.
But we're good boys. We're not going to tell you anything about it.
Sucked in. GG.
I read it. Any last words?
No, mate, that's fantastic news to go out on. Well deserved from the period. I'm just jelly. I'd like to archer. I'd like to do some archery. I'd like to archer. Right. They pulled out all stops. So as you said, one green bean, Sony. Well done.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Apparently it was like a fan event on afterwards. I didn't even know about it. 200 fans rocked up after we were done and had our sloppy seconds.
Get them sucked in. Oh, any press coat? No, they're all gone. The important one's got them. Ooh. Nah. Congratulations to you and fucking Snooks. It's the sort of shit like that makes it. Well, there's a common colloquial term, the grind. When you go to work every day, doing the daily grind. I'm not going to say that what we do is a grind. Sometimes it is. Sometimes we've got to work for what we do, and if we don't want to plagiarise content, so we do put in some effort, and you put in a lot of effort with the editing. I've said that a million times and stuff like that. So it's good that the Australian gaming industry is giving back, and instead of someone going, "Oh, you lucky bastards," go, "Well, fucking good on you, and you deserve it." So that was fucking really cool to see last night. I totally forgot it was on. I've been fucking Niohing it up, and then I seen that last night and I went, "Oh yeah, I remember that. Wicked."
Yeah, so that was good fun. That's all right. That's it, Red.
That's it for me.
All right, lovely. Thank you, as always, to everybody that listens to our show, and feel free to spread the word, share it with all your friends, and we'll be back again next week with another brand new show for you. So until then, I am Lucas.
And I'm Red.
He sure is. Catch ya. That's it. We are finished for another week. We are packing up our bat and ball and we're going home. If you're keen for more content before the next show, then head over to the Aussie Gamers Express Facebook page and give us a like, and check out our website at www.aussiegamersexpress.com. We are also on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and every other social network that you can think of, except that weird one that no one uses. You know the one. This podcast is also available on iTunes, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio. See you all next time on the Aussie Gamers Express Video Game Podcast.
Spektrem.